Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday and welcome to the Early Edge. You might have noticed a wardrobe shift. We've been doing it all week. We've got some exciting surprises for you. But before we get to the stars of the show, A, let's have a great Friday. And B, let's take a look at the Thursday recap screen as we go 4-2. The day prior, 5-1. The day prior to that, 4-1. We are rolling really, really hot in the so-called dog days of summer. But ladies and gentlemen, you're not here for Thursday's recap screen. You're here for Monday's recap screen. And we can only get a good one there if we get good picks today. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to BPE Friday.
Woo! Let's go! Woo, 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 woo!
Let's go. We got Ben wearing the tie. We got Snyper with the button up. We got Fighting Danny with the sleeves rolled up. We got Buckets with the collared shirt and sleeveless. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, we've got your Friday Chip Me Up.
Good morning, Sia. Good morning, Danny. Good morning, Matt. Good morning, Buckets. Good morning, Ben. Good morning, Early Edge fam. Well, outside is hot, but inside we got cool winners to get you set for a big old summer weekend of sports. Let's go!
Chip, you are looking so good. I don't know where to go from here. Buckets, you're looking so good. I appreciate the collar, and I appreciate Sniper's collar too, but you're wearing the sleeveless. Buckets, how you doing today, buddy?
Sia, I'm doing well. This is a good time for me to announce that in the middle of August, I will be doing my first ever powerlifting competition. So if you're feeling a little bit inferior right now compared to me, Sia, just know that's totally normal. Don't feel bad about it.
I was very much feeling inferior to you, but not as much as I was feeling inferior to Matt Snyder, because Matt, you're pulling off that top button way better than I am.
Yeah, had to have somebody with a clean look on today. Had to even things out. But yes, it is an honor. And I've got the CBS Sports logo on here,
which is awesome.
Love that.
Company man. By the way, I remember we had the home run chart, but you mentioned your own home runs yesterday. Spencer Torkelson, I think that was the first name out of your mouth. Did he go the yard yesterday?
He did. He went yard, or as Buckets would say, he went the yard. So yeah, covered us either way.
70 days away from NFL season. I'm expecting a Chicago Bears sniper. Danny Brasco, you were here yesterday. You were kind of talking smack about the Minnesota Vikings, but here you are talking smack about the UFC. We got a big fight night this weekend, or I should say on Saturday night.
Yeah, massive fight night card tomorrow. Ilia Topuria taking on Charles Oliveira. He's stepping up to 155 at lightweight. This is his chance to become one of the greats. He took out Volkanovski. He took out Holloway, left them both cold asleep on the mat. If he does that to Charles Oliveira, we'll have no choice but to mention his name amongst the greats. So that's on the line. More championships. I'm going to get into a lot of that today on the show.
I'm just now looking at the chat. I can only imagine, because I normally have my iPad to my left. I don't have it today. I can only imagine what the comments are right now. Joey B saying, Chip Patterson looks like a 2011 rioter from Vancouver. Sounds like a compliment to me. When they lost the Stanley Cup, Chip, your reaction?
Robbed, obviously. Come on, Canucks. That should have been them all day.
I don't even know what you guys are talking about. Sniper looks like an esteemed salesman. You do. What is he selling is the question in the chat.
It's at the lid store.
A lid salesman. If you have another item that you think Sniper would be selling in that outfit, please let us know. I guess we do have to get to picks eventually. ADHD in human form here for it, says Wenzel Walker. Claire Flippy, I was not ready for Sia's shirt this morning. Yeah, we took the sleeves off just the other day. This one had sleeves. If you remember from old Early Edges, this red shirt, I used to go to it all the time. It kind of wore out its welcome and in terms of having wear. So we cut off the sleeves and here we are. All right, let's get to some picks and then I'll get to the chat. Leonard Marshall, days away from NFL season, says Eric David. Love that. Buckets, we got a soccer pick. What is it?
I saw someone on Twitter today say odds that Buckets gives out a BTTS bet minus 20,000 on the show this morning. Well, cash the minus 20,000 because I'm back with the both teams to score action in the FIFA Club World Cup. We have Palmeiras taking on Botafogo, and I'm taking both teams to score at plus 110, and you can't stop me. We have two teams playing in the round of 16 where we actually have head-to-head history to look through because these are both teams that play in Brazil's Serie A, and two teams that in the last two seasons have played against each other 7 times in league play and in Libertadores. So we have a lot to look for in this matchup, and we can look and see that when these two teams play historically, Botafogo has been the much better side. Out of those 7 matches, Botafogo has won 4 times. Twice has it ended in a draw, and Palmeiras has only won a single time. But Palmeiras is the favorite. Across those 7 matches, we've also seen 29 goals, which means these two teams like to come out Danny Brasco style, swinging at each other. And these are 2 teams that we've seen in this competition that are used to this heat, unlike PSG, unlike Inter, unlike Bayern Munich. These are 2 clubs that know how to play in the humidity and the heat, and 2 teams that know they win a lot of money if they win this game, which is why we're going to see goals here. Both teams to score all day long. No questions asked, Sia.
All right. I have a question because I wasn't listening. Is it Palmeiras versus Botafogo?
You don't get to say I wasn't listening and then ask me a question right after, Sia. You got to listen.
I'm enamored by the chat. I'm enamored by the chat. Joey B says, Sia, did you borrow a shirt from Mackenzie? Which is actually pretty funny because I think this looks like a halter top. I mean, it is a sleeveless, but let's see. This would be more halter top-ish. Yes. Thank you, Joey B, for your contribution. Sniper selling AT&T cell phones. I could see that. Not Verizon for some reason. All right. Speaking of swinging, let's get to, Bucket said swinging, by the way. That's why I said that. Chip, let's get to some swinging of the golf clubs. You've got a couple of superstars that are playing this afternoon. Talk to me about Patrick Cantlay and Colin Morikawa.
I'm kind of zigging when I would normally zag, to take you inside the Chipalytics. When I see somebody who's doing a good job of striking the ball, like good off the tee, good on approach, but really bleeding strokes on the green, normally I'm thinking regression. But what is putting if not mental? And good golly, I hate the mental vibes coming from Colin Morikawa right now. We're switching caddies. We're trying to hit approach shots with no gloves on. We are literally just grabbing at things, searching at things, and just firing off shots at reporters and trying to take issue with just one-off articles and Golf Week. Like, I do not like Colin Morikawa's headspace whatsoever. And, I mean, he shot 3 under yesterday, but you look at what we're seeing at the Rocket Classic. I mean, he might have to go low to be able to even make it to the weekend. I think that I've got him on gas watch. What's gas watch, Chip? It's when you motion to your manager and say, gas up the jet because we are getting out of here tonight. He's going up against Patrick Cantlay. And if you've watched Patrick Cantlay, he's got a very simple rhythm. If it's a major championship, he's not going to contend. He's not going to play well. If it's not a major championship, he's going to finish in the top 15. It's been that way for most of the summer. Patrick Cantlay, I think that he's going to be able to be inspired to play well, to make that cut line, to make it into the weekend, try to go and contend against a field that he is a lot better than. Again, I really, really don't like these Colin Morikawa vibes. So we've got Cantlay at plus money over bad vibes Colin.
I totally agree. And I watched their round yesterday. I mean, granted, I was listening to some of it on Sirius XM PGA Tour Radio, but that's not an advertisement. But that's what I was doing. Also watching the coverage as well. And Cantlay's round, when you look at the metrics, Chip, it's not that impressive.
Right.
But when you watch when you watched it, it looked like he was in control pretty much the whole time. And Colin Morikawa just looked completely off, not just with the putt. I mean, I know his metrics were good, but there is no way I'd be on Colin in this matchup.
Right. Yeah. Some of this is that he's radioactive. So in the 3-ball matchups, my other option was Keegan. And just like, let's show our work. Let's put it all on the table right here. Like, Sia, would you have gone with Keegan or Cantlay? Because the starting point for me was fade Colin and then go and work from there.
I would have gone with Cantlay. I saw, listen, Keegan had a nice front end of the round, but I saw enough just really bad approach shots where I was like, I don't know, like Keegan, not like you can find trouble here, but I feel like Cantlay, just a more consistent guy through all metrics, I think is going to be Patrick Cantlay today.
Cool. Love to hear that.
What are we laughing at?
Oh, you got muted.
He needs a second, apparently. Oh.
The Bet MGM logo on my forehead. I keep looking up, expecting to see something for some reason. It's throwing me off this morning.
Professional transition. And
I mean,
MGM account holders will receive a no-sweat token for any sport. You will receive a bonus bet back if your bet loses. Wow, Buckets is just the best. Again, no-sweat token courtesy of BetMGM on any sport. BetMGM account holders will also receive an MLB home run boost. Just bet on a player to hit a home run today and activate the token. If they do, you get extra winnings on your bet only at BetMGM. We got baseball picks, but before we get to you, Sniper, on the baseball picks, let's get to the home run model. By the way, if you're joining the show late, we are celebrating summer. Clearly, we are celebrating summer. Chip, you look like the cool lifeguard of the beach lifeguard crew. like the captain lifeguard, whatever they call it?
I was a lifeguard back in the day, and I got to tell you, I have been living it. We are swim teaming baseball. I told you I'm coach of my son's 3 and 4 year old t-ball team. Like, it is baseball, it is swim team. It has been a sporty summer. So when y'all asked me to turn the summer up, I just had to keep my same clothes on.
Yeah, that's fair. By the way, I was a lifeguard too, but it was a pool lifeguard, which means I wasn't actually a lifeguard. Anyway, top MLB home run plays. Nick Kurtz, plus 415 versus the real odds of plus 500. Juan Soto, plus 380, says the SportsLine model. Plus 450 are the real odds. And Ketel Marte, plus 300 is the SportsLine number, but the real odds, plus 525. Sniper, I got to ask you, before we get to anything baseball related with you, any of these three names popping for you?
Yeah, Marte's a great one. Yuri Perez from the Marlins on the mound in Arizona there. And I'll have a little more on that, little foreshadowing there. But also Juan Soto is on an absolute heater right now.
Yeah.
So either one of those I really like.
Also, there was somebody in the chat. I'm trying to catch up with the chat. You appear to have liked a parlay idea. What was it?
Yeah, sorry, I can't remember who it was. It said Brewers and Rays. Rays are against the Rockies, who are obviously historically bad, and the Rays, I'm going to have something on them too. So Brewers Rays parlay, yeah, I really like that.
All right, let's get to a SportsLine pick. I think this is courtesy of Prop Bet Guy, who cashed for us yesterday, I believe, on the Hunter Brown over 6.5 Ks. I think Hunter Brown got to 8 Ks. Jose Quintana under 5.5 hits allowed at minus 135. That one courtesy of Prop Bet Guy. All right, we got more picks to go. We got UFC. Brasco, we've kept you silent for way too long. We got the Sniper. We got my golf pick. We're going to cover it all right after this message from our partners.
It's the Big Three on CBS. Miami coming in hot. Big Three is on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus.
All right. We are back on the Early Edge, brought to you by BetMGM, the sports book born in Vegas. Danny Brasco, I'm going to go to you next. Yesterday, we were bashing the heads in of Minnesota Vikings fans. Who are we bashing today, or I should say tomorrow night for UFC?
Yeah, we're headed to the octagon now. We're talking NFL futures, letting some teams down, some fan bases down. But this time around, I might have to let another fan base down in the main event. Really popular fighters going at it. Foreshadowing. First, I'm starting on the prelim card. I'm going to give you 2 bets that start early on this fight night. And then I'm going to end with the main event, Ilia Topuria versus Charles Oliveira. You guys got to get a pick there, right? First off, I'm going with the biggest favorite in UFC history. Jacoby Smith is minus 2,500 on the money line, and that's my pick. No, I'm just kidding. That would be heinous. I'm going to get him all the way down near to even money by doing what the odds makers think he's likely going to do, and that's finishing this fight in round 1 with a knockout shot. Give me that prop to beat all of this juice, because Jacoby Smith is a prospect that's just in his second UFC fight, and they're giving him the old veteran Nico Price. Nico Price has been in some fun fights, some wars throughout his career. But guys, he is worse for the wear, and I think he's just taking this fight for a paycheck. Smith is a nasty puncher. I think the first clean shot he hits Price with, it's night-night. Whether that's a body shot, rips a hook to the liver, comes up top, or if he ends up in top position on the ground, Smith has nasty ground and pound. If he frames and postures up, see you later, Price. This one's ending inside 5 minutes. Give me Smith by round 1 knockout to beat all that juice. Second play. All right, guys, before I give this out, I want everyone to remain calm. I want the women and children to go first. I want our able-bodied men on this show, Snyder, Chip, Sia, Buckets, batten down the hatches for us, because there's a Category 5 hurricane coming through, and it's Hyder, the Hurricane Emil. He's cashed for us once on this show. I'm going right back to him. Give me Hyder on the spread at plus 3.5. If you're not familiar with this market, this comes down to the combined judges' scorecards. Shop around to get the plus 3.5. What this implies is that Hyder either wins the fight or loses by 1 round on the judges' combined scorecards. If he lost 29-28, add them up, that's 3. We would win by the hook there. That's how spread betting works. I've explained a few times. Always happy to rehash that with you guys. Hyder's intangibles can absolutely win him around in this fight. His cardio, he weaponizes it to break people. His mixed game, he's always putting on that relentless pressure and looking to make the fight crazy and nasty. His opponent is really slick. Hyder's the underdog for a reason. This guy, Jose Delgado, trains at an MMA lab where Sean O'Malley trains. Slick striker. He's smooth on the mat with his chokes. But Hyder has 0 quit in him. He has a chin carved from the gods themselves. You're not putting this guy out. So simply put, Jose Delgado's second UFC fight, this is a tough matchup. Matchup nightmare for anybody. Give me Hyder to win a round at least. I like him on the money line at plus 150. And I sprinkled decision at plus 550 as well. I think this could be a back and forth affair that comes down to who wants it more. And if that's the case, give me Hyder all day. Finally, guys, it's time for the main event of the evening. Ilia Topuria looking to take out his third legend in a row. He's facing Charles do Bronx Oliveira, fan favorite, huge underdog. A lot of people are going to be on Charles for that reason. I'm done not listening to Ilia Topuria. I like him to win this fight early in rounds 1 or 2 because that's what he said he's going to do. I told you guys, I made a vow. After he put away Alexander Volkanovski exactly like he said he would, after he put away Max Holloway and broke down the tape of exactly when he saw that punch coming and how he set up the knockout shot when Holloway was switching stances, he's proving to me his fight IQ is off the charts. It's not just his fight IQ. He's literally has this different level of bone density. These Georgian guys like him and Merab Dvalishvili, they're built different, quite literally. When he hits you, you don't get up. There's no counterpunch return. And that's the thing with Charles Oliveira. He's got the range advantage. He's got the size. He's the submission king. He's one of the most dangerous fighters in UFC history. But he thrives on creating chaos. He's also the comeback king. You don't come back when Ilia hits you. You go to sleep. You go to the land of wind and ghosts. And I think he's going to crack him either with a body shot. Charles likes to stay high with that Muay Thai guard. Look for Ilia to dip down with a body shot, come back up top. If he touches you with a hook, sayonara. Ilia said he's finishing this fight in round 1. I believe him. So I'll get some insurance, take round 2 as well, minus 110. And he's going to take out a third legend in a row, guys. I'm sorry, do Bronx fans, but Ilia is the truth, and I have to respect it at this point.
Matt Lawson in the chat says these breakdowns are absolute fire. Everybody, Danny Brasco, complimenting you on your breakdowns and all your takes. Quick question from GAWD. He says, I like Emil 1+ takedowns at minus 120 as well. What say you?
I like that a lot because he will look to mix his game up. Delgado's really smooth on the mat. I actually am, the concern in this fight is that Hyder creates 2 crazy exchanges and realize maybe he's overmatched in the jiu-jitsu. I think he'll certainly go to the wrestling, but reverse, look for him to keep it standing perhaps or make it a kickboxing affair, but you will look to see him mix up his game and just try to drown his opponents. That's a good play. He's going to shoot a takedown.
Buckets, I wasn't looking your way. Is there a showdown in order? Sometimes you disagree with Brasco and you lose $100.
Sometimes I do, but I pulled a Sia and didn't really listen when he was talking. I was too enthralled with the chat, so I'm just, I'm busy right now.
No,
yeah.
I'm in on the. I mean, listen. I'm in on the Hurricane. Okay, like as soon as I was like, yeah, this is my kind of fighter right here.
And man, last time we had him plus 180. Sleep on this guy. I know he's not maybe as skilled as his opponent, but will versus skill, man. Hyder has all the will in the world. That's what I want in my underdog. See, I don't just want the betting underdog. I want the junkyard dog in your soul.
Yeah, dude, that who wants it more? Oh man, I'm in.
Narrative streak.
I did hear we do have to be battening down the hatches and like staying behind. If I was on a ship and it was going down, Sia, I'm dressing up like a kid and I'm shrinking a little bit and I'm hiding. I'm trying to get off that boat as soon as possible. I'm not staying behind with all you guys. That's all I'm saying.
And that's why he was reluctant to include you in able-bodied men.
He struggled to remember buckets.
Last one in.
Sia, yes, Matt.
And Matt.
Buckets, maybe.
There's a hurricane coming. We're battening down the hatches, and Buckets is looking for resolutions and solutions to get off a boat. I'm not sure the hurricane. I really don't know if you're prepared,
Landfall,
sir.
man.
Liddy saying Brasco going 3-0. Let's see. I listen, Brasco, you are so sharp. I love your breakdowns. And I will say, before we get to Sniper your picks, you will be, correct me if I'm wrong, but you will be on CBS Sports HQ Saturday night, pre and post, or either one?
Pre and post, man. It was my first time doing, being on the desk. I'll be back there. It was so awesome with Hakeem Dermish, Pros Pro. I'll be there with Brian Campbell as well. So really awesome fight coverage there. I took like a 3 a.m. Uber home from Stamford, Connecticut. Just nobody on the ghost roads in New York City. So it was a late night, but we'll be there sticking around for the post-fight coverage reactions too. And it's a lot of fun there. I'll also be on the network show right after this, giving out more plays with Mackenzie hosting. So be sure to tap in, guys. More UFC. Absolutely
love that. I will say this. There's a handful of you that don't even realize that CBS Sports HQ is this 24/7, basically sports news network. So, I mean, all of these people are on there all the time. So I highly encourage people to check that out because it's just really, really good stuff, literally 24/7. All right, Sniper, baseball. A lot of people in the chat are asking for baseball picks. You've got a couple for us. Buckets, go ahead.
Before we get to, I'm so sorry, Sniper. You know how much
Classic.
I respect and love you. Before we get to Sniper, I just want to throw out that I really, for some reason in my gut, I just feel this. I love Tampa Bay Rays money line today. Just wanted to throw that out there before we got to Sniper. Go ahead, Sniper. My bad.
I'm disappointed. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Well, Sniper, looks like you're copying Bucket's pick at this point.
Yeah,
That'd be embarrassing.
funny how that turns out. How did he even know? Tough. Anyway, happy Braxton Jones days to the NFL season.
Ooh.
And yes, as Buckets mentioned, I'm going with the Rays on the money line here. Yeah, that's my new logo.
Thanks for calling in the middle of the show, Bucket.
Worst part of my day is every time my phone buzzes and I see Buckets on there. Okay, so anyway, the Rays have won 10 of their last 13. They're road warriors right now, 6 straight road wins. The Orioles started to go well for a second, but now they're back to earth and looked like the Orioles that they've been for most of this season. They've lost 4 of 5. They got shut out twice. And there, Ryan Pepio on the mound for the Rays has been great. Actually, all-star level for a while. 2.30 ERA in his last 11 starts. So love Pepio here. Don't like the Orioles as much. Sugano on the mound for the Orioles, 6.39 ERA in his last 3 starts. So we're just going to go with the Rays to get the W here. Also, we're going to go out west. I mentioned something about I like the Diamondbacks. I like the offense a lot. I'm going to take the Diamondbacks on the run line here so we can get it into plus money because I don't think it's going to be close. Merrill Kelly on the mound for the Diamondbacks. He's much better at home than he is on the road. And the Marlins have won 4 straight games. They're not good enough to keep that up. So they're going to have a backslide. It's going to start tonight. Diamondbacks have won 5 of 7, but they lost Wednesday. They got yesterday off. Again, a good spot to get a win on Friday. And Eury Perez on the mound for the Marlins, 6.17 ERA in his return so far from Tommy John surgery. He's still really, really young. He's still feeling things out of the big league level. That's not a good place to get the Diamondbacks in Arizona in a situation like that. So the Diamondbacks offense is going to feast. And home run, I wanted to add one there. I'm going to go with Kyle Tucker to hit a home run in Houston in his old stomping grounds. Tucker on the Cubs now, obviously. He hit 320 with 694 slugging at home last year. 19 homers in 60 games at home last year. Are you kidding me? Versus Brandon Walter, that should not be much resistance there. Even though it's lefty-lefty, Tucker can hit lefties, and he likes hitting in that ballpark. And I also wanted to say I'm really, really looking forward to undoing this top button, but I'm doing it for you, Sia, because deep down in places I don't talk about at parties, I want you as my host. I need you as my host.
Oh, man, I can finish that whole soliloquy. That was such a great reference from A Few Good Men. Thank you, Sniper, for closing there. I want to go around the horn for questions, but first I got to give out my pick. Brad Morris is in the chat, and he says, hey, I like round 2, 3 balls. Here's what I like. He likes Andrew Putnam over Danny Walker and David Lipsky at plus 125. I kind of like that, but I do think Putnam's going to regress with that putter that he gained 5 strokes with, and I could see Danny Walker, Lipsky going low. But I do like your number, plus 125. The other one you like is the one I'm interested in. And in fact, it's the one I'm giving out. Lee Hodges, one of my pre-tournament guys at 110-1, shot 7 under yesterday. He's now, 40-1, 45-1. Either way, I like him over Seamus Power and Luke List. This is one of those 3 balls. By the way, it's plus 140, plus 138 in some places, plus 140 in others. I like Lee Hodges. There's a reason I had him as my lone long shot for this tournament. It's because the ball striking and the putter have really come around, and I do think this is a very good course fit for him. And I look at Seamus Power and Luke List. I don't think Luke List can contend. The Luke List we know and love from 4 years ago that could be a good ball striker and kind of failed with the putter, he's kind of gone away. So I do think this is probably a 2-horse race with Seamus Power and Lee Hodges. Seamus Power, if memory serves, was okay yesterday. I think he was pretty bad with the putter. Nonetheless, I don't think he has the firepower that Lee Hodges does. Again, I picked Lee Hodges to win this tournament for a reason. Coming in, I just love the ball striking. I love the fact that he can close tournaments and finish tournaments strong. He doesn't do it a lot, but when he gets into a streak, he starts to really feel himself, and that's what he's doing. He's in the middle of a 4 or 5 tournament stretch where he's playing very well. So give me Lee Hodges at a beautiful plus number, plus 140 over Seamus Power and Luke List. All right, let's go around the horn. Buckets, I'm going to start with you. Anything soccer related to cover?
Right, come here. What's that, Sia? This is important. Come here.
Freya's going to give out a pick.
Freya.
Is she in sleeveless?
Yeah.
I would like to apologize to everyone, and the apologies always go better when you have a dog with you because it takes away some of the guilt here. The bet I gave isn't for tomorrow, or isn't until tomorrow. So I actually did not give out a play for anything today. I thought that was Freya. Thought that was today. It's a tomorrow afternoon game. That's on me. That's my bad. I just want to do get that apology out there, Sia.
Yeah, Buckets, that's okay though, because we have a Monday recap screen where that's going to fall in. So we're okay. That's totally okay. Did you see any other soccer questions that you needed to respond to?
I actually did see a question about the Latvian versus Liga matchup between Auta Riga and Riga FC. I love both teams to score it over 2.5 on that, Sia. Just wanted to throw that out there.
All right. Chip Patterson, do you see anything in the chat that you needed to respond to?
Really, I'm gonna start breaking out future Fridays in a little bit, but at the very top of the show, KC3, any college football futures, Chip? And that answer would be absolutely. Right now, sort of keeping it close to home, but on the win totals, I like Clemson over, Stanford under. So you're kind of working on the opposite ends of the spectrum there with one of the teams at the top of the board. I do think they end up getting that to 10 wins or more. And then at the bottom of the board, a trivia question: who can name Stanford's coach for the 2025 football season? Frank Reich.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Interim coach Frank Reich, because Andrew Luck fired Troy Taylor for behavior in the workplace. Nothing like super bad. Apparently he was just an ass to like a lot of people, they investigated it and he ended up losing his job. So Frank Reich is the interim coach at Stanford. And as soon as the coach got fired, all their best players hit the portal. So you've got a lame duck interim coach, a roster that may or may not be checked into the season, and a win total of 3.5. I say under on that one.
Wow. I like it. Cover 3 podcast. Is it already going? Are we already going with Cover 3?
See ya. I understand. I understand, Mr. 5 days a week all year long. You're setting an interesting pace, but the Cover 3 podcast has been and continues to be regular every single week. We don't just mess around when we say from National Signing Day to the National Championship and everywhere in between. We mean everywhere in between. But yeah, win totals we'll get started on Cover 3 in July once we get into through media days, which really starts in 2 weeks.
Chip, I knew the answer to that question. I was just trying to tee you up. Of course. Sniper, you were laughing. You were chuckling at something earlier. What was it?
Yeah, in the chat, KC3 said, did Sniper ever call Buckets back yesterday? No, I did not. But immediately when the show ended, he called me again. So I had to talk to him, unfortunately.
Ouch.
Also in the chat, Joe said, I think Snyder is actually slightly bothered. You're wrong about that. It's not slightly. It is totally bothered.
When I called him yesterday, sorry, I'll interrupt you again. Go. That's my bad.
And then also, Steve, Arizona plus Arizona team total plus Ketel Marte. Yes, I love all that. I got asked about no run first inning in the Rays-Orioles game. I think the Rays could jump on Sugano, so I wouldn't do that. A's versus Yankees under 8.5. I don't know. Those are some offenses that could explode on a dime. That's tough. I'd probably stay away.
Sniper, regarding baseball bets, do you think the Nerfy is a sucker's bet? What are your thoughts on Nerfy betting in general?
Sometimes it's tough. I mean, there's always juice, right? It's like minus 135 to minus 150-ish and just one swing. And you usually have 3 of the best 4 hitters at least hitting in the first inning, and one swing can bury you.
Yeah.
Smart analysis. Danny, pushback, electric 6 outs. The most
it is fun. Yeah. If you're
you guys know I'm an under better. So you give me 6 outs to just sweat. I love that stuff. But ultimately I've lost a bunch of them, right? So that's why I'm coming for advice on them. I agree.
I'm going in total entertainment. And Danny, haven't you lost the ones with the leadoff? Just a leadoff homer, and you're
leadoff bomber.
It's usually like a guy on third, bottom 1, 2 outs, balked him in. Sick.
Wild pitch.
Disgusting. Just nasty stuff.
All right. I think no run second inning. That's a bet too.
That
you can bet per inning.
Violently ill. I mean, you need a gas mask for that.
That's when you hit the Nerfy and you're saying, I'm betting no run any inning until they score. Pitcher's duel. Let's go.
In all seriousness, if you're actually the no-run second inning makes a lot more sense. Of course, the juice is going to be affected because now you're getting the middle or the bottom of the order.
Yeah,
so I'd almost prefer that.
4 and it's 5, 6, 7.
Yeah. I think that might be an angle to potentially look at and attack maybe for our next live show. Buckets, you're going to give us the last word here.
Have a great day, everyone.
Oh, that's that. I thought you actually had something to say.
No, I thought you wanted me to sign out. What's your catchphrase? You know the law. Subscribe or something like that.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
You know the law.
Nailed it.
You know the law. Subscribe.
Buckle up, kids.
All right, let's get to the recap screen. Jeez, buckets can't save anyone.
There's a recap screen.
All right, here my pick, which I gave at the end of the show. Lee Hodges this afternoon, plus 140 in a 3-ball over Seamus Power and Luke List. And then another 3-ball, but this is a 3-ball matchup, which you can find over at DK. My 3-ball you can find anywhere, including BetMGM. Patrick Cantlay, plus 100 over Colin Morikawa, that one from Chip Patterson. Then we go to buckets. Palmeiras versus Botafogo, both teams to score, plus 110. And then we go to baseball, Rays money line, minus 125, and the Diamondbacks, minus 1.5 at plus 120. We go to UFC Fight Night tomorrow night. Jacoby Smith by round 1 KO, minus 105. Hyder Emil, plus 3.5 at minus 115. And Ilia Topuria to win in rounds 1-2 at minus 110. By the way, just a note, Bucket's pick is for Saturday. Freya told us that later in the show. Jose Quintana, under 5.5 hits allowed, minus 135. That one courtesy of Prop Bet Guy. All right. Somebody said, excellent last word, Buckets. Buckets, do you want to go ahead and thank everybody and close us out on this summer Friday that we're celebrating?
Thank you, everyone, for watching us on this summer Friday that we are celebrating.
That's not right. Thank you, Chip. Thank you, Buckets. Thank you, Danny Brasco. Thank you, Sniper. Thank you, Ben, on the 1s and 2s and 3s and 4s. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Brian, Jason, Matt, Taylor, Steve, Walker, Gipper's Picks, and everybody else that dropped in. We really, really appreciate you. Always hit the like button on the way in or the way out. Have a great Friday. Have a great weekend. Celebrate summer. Let's have a positive day and maybe another positive recap screen on Monday. We rest our buckets. What do we got? We rest our case. We're done here.
Yeah.
Stupid.